We're here at High Ridge, overlooking Cagayan de Oro. Look at these, two women. Oh my God, cousins. We're back. We came back 48 hours. Wow, look at Cagayan Island, Chrissy. It's so... This is Archie. We golfed yesterday. Archie, you're here from...
Florida.
From
Been
Florida.
here since April 20th,
and you've got a friend. And you're one of my consulting clients, and we're here having dinner the day after we golfed. Chrissy, second time golfing this week. We have to find some corta. Maybe it's time for you to get off the couch. Today we're going to talk about what 2,000 US dollars can buy in 2025 in the Philippines. That's the average Social Security payment for a 62-year-old who's retiring in 2025. We're going to look at real estate. We're going to look at dining. We're going to look at the cost of utilities. We're going to take a look at properties. We're going to look at mountain properties. We're going to go to the resorts. You're going to see Chrissy at the beach. You're going to see Chrissy at the overlooks. You're going to see Chrissy out and about with me, enjoying life in the Philippines. And I'm going to paint a picture for you. With just 2,000 US dollars, I'm going to show you in this video the life you can lead with a Filipina at your side. The opposite sex is a little too entitled. The dating scene is not satisfying. You've been on YouTube. You've seen men in Thailand, men in Asia, men in the Philippines, living a different life and doing it with very few dollars. This could be the moment right now. Somebody's going to ask you, how did you ever come to just dramatically change your life? Fight your way out of that box and find your way to a life with a younger Filipina woman at your side, living your best life. And you might think back, I was encouraged to get off the couch. I was stuck in a rut. I was living the same Groundhog Day experience over and over again. 2,000 US dollars a month was buying me a really lousy housing situation. I had a great job, and after 40 years, they tossed me out on my ass and said, no thanks, thanks. Here I am with a limited pension to try and find my way forward. I'm on my own again. I might have been divorced. I might have just broken up in a long-term relationship. I might be struggling to find companionship, so I went without for 5 years. What are you doing there? Why are you still there? Are you waiting for a miracle? Now, let's take a look at what a basic 2,000 US dollar budget can buy here in the Philippines. And I'm just going to start with this house that I'm sitting on. I'm overlooking the largest river in the Philippines, 400 kilometers, largest by volume and longest in a canyon at 500 feet of elevation. There's a breeze. Every morning it's like paradise. It rains a lot in the afternoon and the evening, but every single morning, I mean, it might rain 1 or 2 days in the morning a year, but I have a friend who's been to the golf course, and here's an image of Chrissy out there at Del Monte, and he said he's golfed 100 rounds last year, and he has not been rained out one time between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. It can be paradise here. Don't get it in your head it's just hot and stinky. Now, yeah, you're going to go at sea level in Manila, in the big cities, surrounded by buildings. You'll have no air. You'll have humidity. Nothing opens really till 10 o'clock. You won't even go out in the morning till 10 o'clock. By the time you get out, it'll be stinky, hot, and humid. But you don't have to live that life. So this property cost me 52,500 pesos per month. And with a strong dollar last year, that ran around 860 US dollars. Now, because the dollar's weaker, I'm paying about 925 US dollars per month. Water is almost free. It costs $10 a month on average. High-speed internet cost me 55 US dollars a month. Regular cable internet only costs $35 a month. And the electricity runs me about $125 a month, and I run one air conditioner in the bedroom at night, only in the bedroom at night, to dehumidify the room. I run it at a high temperature. We're at 500 feet of elevation. and we're only 7 kilometers and 25 minutes to downtown, a city of 850,000 people. And the beauty is we're just minutes away from Cold Springs, and we can take the road out the back and go into the Bukidnon Mountains, and we can go shopping very, very quickly. We don't have to get in traffic. We're not in the middle of Cebu City. We're not in the middle of a high-priced place like Makati where everything's 40% more. So roughly $1,200 US a month can get you this house with all utilities. Now, I pay for a peso plan, roughly $100 a month, and that reimburses me 1.5 million pesos, or let's call it 27,000 US a year. And my first year I had to come out of pocket and they would reimburse me, but now for certain certified large hospitals, you can check in and direct bill the insurance. So let's add $100 US a month for your medical insurance. Now, if you don't take your Medicare Part B, you'll get that $185 a month put back in your Social Security. And that's a big decision. That's a whole separate conversation. Now, how much do you need for transportation? The first year Chrissy and I lived here, well, there's a jeepney that runs right up the 200 meters up the hill at the gate. There's a jeepney goes by every 10 minutes. It's 30 pesos to get downtown. So if you just want to jump on the jeepney and save money, not a problem. Taxis are everywhere. The nice thing about where I live, they don't allow trikes in this part of Uptown. I can call the guard, a taxi will pull up, he'll have 40 pesos when he starts the meter. He'll take me all the way downtown, 25 minutes. It's only 250 pesos, roughly $4.25 to get downtown. I can go across town to S&R, which is like our Costco, for $6 US. $100 taxi budget will get you all around town, get all your shopping, get you to dinner. You'll never spend more than $100. But if you want to get up into the mountains and you want to go to the waterfalls and you want to really explore and take advantage of the high elevations and the cooler temperatures, well, you could get a motor scooter. It'll get you unbelievable freedom. And you can rent them cheap, you can buy them cheap, they cost almost nothing to put fuel in, and you will get a type of freedom that you just can't imagine. There comes with some risk, but the cost is very low. So if you don't want to rent a motorcycle, day trips with four-wheel transportation, going up into the mountains, going longer distances, we don't have a beach close to where we live. The good beach, we travel an hour. And if you have to rent a taxi or you have to rent a car, well, that's going to add to your transportation budget. Dinners out. Let's just talk about this. Here, Chrissy and I, we went to a restaurant called High Ridge. Check out this view. Chrissy and her cousin are enjoying themselves. She visited from America. Let's take a look at that. We're here at High Ridge, overlooking Cagayan de Oro. Look at these two women. Oh my God, cousins. His and hers. Permission to put you on YouTube?
Yeah, that's all right.
You're spoken for, and you're visiting from Houston.
Yes.
You're married to an American.
Yes.
And you're here to visit family. And you're Chrissy's cousin. Yeah, you're really more than cousins because your mother.
My
is,
mother
yes.
and her mother is a sibling sisters, and my dad and her dad is a sibling.
That's great.
We're
That
like
makes
sisters.
somewhere between sisters and cousins. Yeah,
Yes.
a sister and a half.
When we were in high school, everybody would think it's
We're back. We came back 48 hours. Like, wow, look at Camagan Island, Chrissy. It's so prominent.
No, that's it.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
That's across the bay. That's Camagan there.
I didn't see it last time because it was raining.
And this is just across the bay. That's the mainland across the bay. The studio's tucked in this bay. That's Camagan behind downtown. It's not too prominent.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Fly Me to the Philippines. We're here again in the High Ridge.
The menu at High Ridge, a cheeseburger, $6. $6. A soda, $1. You can go to dinner and have a piece of salmon, a beautiful piece of baked salmon at a high-end View Resort restaurant. 600 or 700 pesos. So $11 for a piece of salmon. We go to Cuesta Rocha, our friend's restaurant. Check out the view here. Look at this view. You usually can order one of the most expensive things on the menu. Chrissy gets a mango shake. I get a diet soda. We leave with tip for 23, 24 US dollars. A meal at the mall will usually cost $8 or $9. A meal at a Carinderia might cost $1.50. Groceries are less than the United States. There are takeout meals like roasted chickens everywhere, motorcycle deliveries. There's a service here that he'll go to the restaurant, he'll go to the drugstore, he'll buy with his own money, come to your door on a motorcycle, charge you $1. You'll pay him back. He'll give you the chicken. He'll give you the medicine from the pharmacy. There are view resorts, Ultra Winds, where we got married. It is only 300 pesos for a day pass. You get to use 2 Olympic-sized negative edge pools, 1,000 feet of elevation, enjoy the nice weather, enjoy the breeze, be at a resort. The restaurant's very, very reasonable. Chrissy and I typically, if we get lunch, we're in and out for under 20 US dollars. You want to go bowling? There's a bowling alley downtown at the big SM Mall. What does it cost to go bowling? It's about $7 or $8 for 2 people to go bowling. It's a nice way to spend an hour. You want to go to a Korean barbecue? Well, it's $5.99 all you can eat, and it's a lot of food. And so what is $5.99? It's about $11 for an all you can eat Korean barbecue. What about being up in the Bukidnon Mountains? If you understand that you can't own land, I mean, you can own a condo, but if you can work through the issues and you've met a woman or you're married and you want to buy a small piece of property in her name in the mountains and build a small mountain retreat house, well, that's what we're doing here. We bought a little property up in the mountains, an acre. We're building a small house for Chrissy's mom to live in, and her husband will be the caretaker. He's the contractor. We pay 400 pesos a day for basic labor. That's $7 US dollars a day. It's the minimum wage here in Cagayan de Oro. And we can have a caretaker on the property for only 10,000 pesos a month. That is roughly 185 US dollars a month. And we have an expansive view. We're at 2,800 feet. We have room to build other properties. Outdoor decks are in our plans. Stay tuned. There's some videos where we show the kind of construction where we started building the driveway and we cemented the driveway, put in the gate. If you're interested, go back and check out this project. But it's very, very doable. Now, let's take a look at properties that you can rent. As I mentioned, this property has a rent of $52,500. And I have to be honest with you, it's way more than almost everybody else I know pays. Now, I have some friends, they pay 90,000 pesos to live in Pueblo de Oro Golf Course, 2 kilometers away. That's a Trent Jones course, and these houses sell for 700, 800, 900,000 US dollars. And it looks like you're in the West, and it is just a beautiful golf course. Now let me show you what a luxury property would be. If you want to spend all $2,000 on the rental property, here's a property that'll blow your mind just right here in Cagayan de Oro. Now, what if you just want to spend 60,000 pesos a month? What can you get? Guard-gated subdivision, master plan community, roving motorcycle guards at night, pools, community centers. Let's take a look. Most of the people I know pay between 30,000 pesos and 40,000 pesos a month to rent a home in a private subdivision. So that's roughly $560 a month to $650 for rent. And these are single family homes, and you're going to have either 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, or 4 bedrooms and 3 baths. You'll have a maid's quarter in one of those bedrooms typically. Let's just take a look at some of those properties. Let me just show you a property that is in a different location. International Airport City, downtown Cebu City, in a high-rise condo, maybe a studio for $600 a month. They can get to the airport in an hour, fly internationally. They can take ferries out to the other places in the Visayas. It's crowded, it's 20% more expensive than CDO, but they like that hub idea, they like the lock and leave and go travel idea, and a lot of people are drawn to that. So let's just take a look at a condo in Cebu City and what it costs. Other expenses, my cell phone costs me roughly $7 a month, and I use a plan called TELLO to get my one-time passcodes from America and be able to call cell phones in America. And I carry a SIM card with me from TELLO. It costs me $5.95 a month. So you don't have many fixed expenses. You have to buy some groceries, and it really doesn't cost that much money to feed your Filipina. You're gonna be buying rice, a lot of rice, 25 kilos of rice at a time, and it's gonna disappear because they eat rice for every meal. But it's kind of a positive thing because it costs so little to feed a Filipina. And when you socialize with a Filipina, she doesn't expect to go to nightclubs. She doesn't expect to go to the fancy. Even if you took her to the fanciest restaurant in town, it's not going to cost but $25 or $30 without alcohol. But they like to stay home. We're enjoying some transportation. I have a bongo truck. I paid $4,000. Now I've had a few repairs, I have to admit. So call it $5,000, and it's a diesel and it gets good gas mileage, and off we go. It's very, very inexpensive to operate. What does it cost to buy a new car here in the Philippines? Well, you're going to find very amazing. Cars cost a lot less here. And there's 2 cars in particular that are kind of status. One is a Hilux. It's like a Toyota Tacoma pickup truck variant that is diesel. And it is a great car, and a lot of people have them here. You can buy one new for as little as $30,000. You can buy one fully loaded for about $44,000. You can get a 3 or 4 year old used model for about $18,000. A client of mine in Balai just bought one for $18,000, about 60,000 kilometers on it, 4 years old. The other car is the Fortuner, which is a Toyota SUV. The top of the line costs $50,000. It's got upgraded everything. It is a premium vehicle, and Toyota has the reputation here for having just outstanding service and parts supply, and all the mechanics can work on them. Now, what's also interesting here is the Chinese cars are for sale here without these crazy import fees. And I have a friend, he has a Tigo 5. He paid about $17,000 for it. It came with a 7-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, 3 years all fluids and service. He plans to change it out every 3 years. He drives us in it occasionally. It feels like we're driving in a BMW SUV. I can't tell the difference. You're going to find 6 to 10 different Chinese automobile dealerships here, and their quality control act is impressive. Now, some of you are saying I wouldn't buy a Chinese car. Okay, I don't want to get into that. I'm just telling you the quality is insane, not what it was 10 years ago. And the prices are really, really low. You might not want to buy a used car from a Filipino. They're not known for kind of taking advantage of it. And driving here can be its own treacherous experience, people not using lights and things like that. So what can we do? We can go golfing for 50 US dollars here at the Trent Jones course, just 3 kilometers down the road. Or we could drive up to the Bukidons 1 hour away in Manolo Fortiche, and we can pay for the senior rate is 707 pesos. It's like $13 to play a round of golf. Now you have to pay for a caddy, which is 500 pesos, $9. So all in, $22 without tip if you have transportation to and from the mountain. A friend of mine, he leaves his clubs in the mountain and he takes his scooter and up he goes for an hour drive in the morning, and he takes the mountain road back home and he loves the view. And there are 3 ways to get here actually, but the mountain views going through Labona on the way home, it is just spectacular. There are multiple view resorts on the ridge right across the river. We talked about Ultra Winds, a 300 peso day pass, a Maya view with Noah's Ark and Siberian tigers and all kinds of animals, and hang gliding and restaurants and negative edge pools and spectacular views of CDO. It's only going to cost $15 to use the pool and get in there for the day. We have Seven Seas Water Park, 45 minutes away from where we live. It's the largest water park in the Philippines. We have Camigan Island. If you drive 2 hours up the coast and take a 45-minute ferry, boom, you're on Camigan Island. 80,000 population, clean, good infrastructure. White Island to go out and snorkel, and Mantiki Island where we saw an enormous sea turtle like the size of a small Volkswagen. Spectacular snorkeling. And there's a series of ferries that'll get you to Cebu City. It'll take you to Bohol. You can go to Siquijor from Bohol. You can fly directly to Iloilo. They have flights to Iloilo. Sometimes they're on sale for $18 one way. It's never more than an hour and a half really to go anywhere, and you have so much opportunity. The grocery stores are modern. The service can be good if you know which store to go to. We have one store called Gaizanos. We get in and out of the checkout lines. Boom, it's 20% cheaper than the other grocery store. The big grocery store under the mall, oh my God, you can never get through the checkout. Everything's slow. No more living in a shoebox. No more dealing with those neighbors in that condo complex that you're stuck in, paying high prices. No more utility prices that are sky high. And the inflation that has just hollowed out your future, well, we can fix that. We can fix that here. I used to be you. I used to be sitting there, right there on the other side of the camera, vicariously living through vloggers who had made the move. Some were traveling on $1,000 or $1,500 a month and showing you how you could do it. It's very, very possible. And there are many people that you have seen. They can rent properties for $300 US a month. They can live on very, very, very little money. Now, everybody's going to have a slightly different budget, but the issue is you're sitting on the couch and you're wondering, oh my God, I want to do this, it would be nice, but you can't just click your fingers and have somebody introduce a woman like Chrissy to you and say, here, meet Chrissy's twin sister. It doesn't work like that. You have to make some moves. So here's the first thing you need to do. You got to get your house in order. Now, we have a best-selling book on exactly what you need to know to move forward. It's on Amazon. There's a link in the description box. And I also have a free PDF. It's a 1-year planning guide. Send an email to flymetothephilippines@gmail.com and I'll send you a free PDF 1-year planning guide. Now, most men prefer to meet a Filipina online before they make the leap. They don't like the idea of just coming here. Solo traveling can be really hard, especially if you're stuck in a kind of depressing environment where you've lost touch with a lot of your companions. You don't have an active social life. You're really stuck at home watching YouTube. So I did a survey last year on Philippine expats, and about 300 expats responded, a good number, and 60% had met their Filipina online. Of the other 40%, half met somebody online, but they kind of blew a flat tire when they got here. So roughly 80% of the people who kind of met a Filipina first met somebody online, and I teach people how to meet a woman like Chrissy, how to navigate the online sites, the do's and the don'ts. Chrissy helps. She tells you when you've been wrapped around the axle. I've got a lot of data points after talking to 400 men. So we can encourage you and teach you to do that before you make the trip. And in a perfect world, maybe you have somebody like Chrissy waiting for you when you arrive. Now, there's a whole nother population of men where they've never had trouble meeting women, and the Philippines it's easier to meet women here than anywhere. You're the man. You are the lottery ticket. No, you're the Powerball. Come on. So you have to be selective, like a mathematician. You got to go through the first 37% of the women, cards in the deck, familiarize yourself with the opportunity. Don't settle. Find someone who's got chemistry, who's beautiful, and find somebody that can be your best friend. Why not? I found Chrissy. We go on 5-hour car rides. We forget to turn on the radio. We never run out of things to talk to. We spend all our time together. We love it. We're starting to golf together too. So you want to be picky. You want to hire hard, manage easy. And I have a whole set of videos that teach you how to work the online tools, how to be picky, how to navigate all the troubles. You know, it's like finding a piece of real estate. Sometimes you got to go out and look at 15 different properties. And unfortunately, sometimes during the inspection, you find out the house has mold. It's a sunk cost. You have to back out and start over. And in real estate, nobody ever says, oh, it's impossible to find a house. I found a mold house. I'm going to quit. It's not worth looking at another 15 houses. Well, whether it's boots on the ground or in person, when in a foreign country, when dealing with a new culture, people who grew up in poverty and have relatives desperately in need for money, you're going to run into some challenging scenarios. And you might find that after you do your due diligence or get to know somebody quite a bit better, they're going to try and turn your relationship into something transactional. It's not a reason to quit. It's not a reason to sit there on the couch and not join an online dating site. It's not a reason not to buy your ticket. Now, we have a video called the 90-day plan, and I show you in that video why it's important for you to place a flag in the ground and pick, I'm coming in 90 days, I'm coming in 60 days, and then go online 60 days beforehand, or just plan to come. Either way. But if you do go online and you're going to be here in 60 days or 45 days, well, congratulations. You have a superpower. You can fly. And when that Filipina finds out you already have your ticket and you're just 35, 40 days away from arriving, she will wait for you. She'll she'll take her profile down. She will wait for you because you're real, and she's been scammed just like you've been scammed. Starting today, think about telling your friends and family that you have a plan that you're thinking about executing. Give them a little heads up that you're planning to do some exploration and due diligence, and you want to see if Rob and Chrissy are an anomaly. You want to see if the poverty and the dogs and the roosters are going to get you down and this is impossible for you, or if the quiet of this property and the elevation and the cool breeze, like right now it's like 66 degrees Fahrenheit where I'm sitting with a breeze because it's early in the morning. You're going to tell them you're going to do an exploration trip. Then I want you to start downsizing. Get rid of the clutter. Have a yard sale. Sell the third car. Think about who's going to take the furniture one day, how you're going to get rid of the house. Put a plan in action as how you're going to minimize all the clutter in your life. You got to get rid of that stuff. I talk to so many guys who they can't pull the trigger because they got too much stuff and they can't part with it. And start to think about prepping for your health care. You know, it might be a good time to change your diet, and it might be a good time to lose some weight. It might be a good time to get your medical checkups all done in advance. When you get to the Philippines, if you meet a woman like Chrissy, you're going to be burning the candle at both ends. And I want you to start searching listings. Some people have it in their head, it's so expensive. Oh my God, to be on a flight to Asia 20 hours, I can't do it, I can't do it. Keep yourself calm, some breathing exercises if you have trouble thinking about a long flight. You're going to get through it. Go on Google Flights, set up an alert that'll show you when prices drop. You can get round-trip tickets for as little as $1,000 US that have good connections. And you can do interesting things. You can take a long layover, like 12 hours in Seoul, South Korea, and they'll come pick you up in a van and take you on a day trip for very little money. They'll whisk you out of the airport, show you South Korea. You can stop in Hong Kong, grab your breath, take a flight the next day if you have to. You can stop in Bangkok and get that wild hair taken care of. You know, I always tell men, don't come to the Philippines to play in Angeles City. Don't come to the Philippines to look for nightlife, a gentleman's nightlife. This is not really the best place for it. If you should do that in Thailand, come to the Philippines and find a real time traveler. They welcome the gender roles. They want to be a housewife. They want to do the groceries. They want to sew your shirts when they're torn. They want to stay home and be with you. They want to appreciate you, and they want to let you lead. And then I want you to land, rent, and relax. And don't rent anything for more than 3 to 5 days when you land. Now, you're there at home. You're on the couch. And you're thinking, it all sounds so easy. And $2,000, oh, well, hold on a second. Well, no. Get off the couch. I got off the couch, and I was you. I didn't know for sure whether I would be happy here, but I made it happen. And I can help you make it happen just with these videos or with some consulting. Why not you? Why not love yourself? Why not wake up tomorrow and take the first step? Ask for the PDF about a 1-year plan. Watch some of the other videos. Go online. And don't give up the first time you're scammed. Don't give up the first time you run into trouble. It's normal. You're looking for a girl like Chrissy, a girl you could marry, a girl you could be in a long-term relationship with, and you can find them. Come here to the Philippines. You will see thousands of expats living the life that you aspire to. I want you to say to yourself, is it time to start dying? Is it time to start living? Can you get off the couch? Can you pick up Google Flights? Can you start looking on Facebook Marketplace at rental property? Can you watch the other vlogs and the other vloggers? Can you see the reality of what we live here? Why do you want to have your pension be a burden to you? Why do you want inflation to run you ragged? Why do you want entitlement of the opposite sex to be the world you live in? Why do you have to settle? Why can't you have it all? And your family will come around. When they see you living your best life, they will come around. Now, I have 5 different PDFs you can have. If you just write me, the 2025 Age Gap Report, 50 pages. A 10-page report on how to investigate your Filipino once you do video chat her 15 days and she doesn't ask for money. Open source, morally and ethically. I have the 5 essentials: your telco, your OTP codes, telecom, money, and just the basics, the very basics. And then I have a Cebu City, boots on the ground, how to meet women in the IT park in Cebu City if you strike out online. And I have one called How to Win Online, how to set up your video camera, prepare yourself for video chatting, and it has 100 questions to make you the guy with the gift of gab, and a few games like the love languages and the color of personality. So just write me and I'll send them to you free. If you're interested, go to Amazon and buy the book. The paperback is what's selling. It's #1 in Philippines travel. Bring the paperback with you on the airplane. Have it as a reference, a handy reference guide. And if you want a date coach, if you want a life coach, if you want somebody to put an itinerary together, and if you want to have somebody in the Philippines that can help you if you get wrapped around the axle when you're here, go ahead and look for my consultation calendar. Chrissy will be back next time. Thanks for watching another episode of Fly Me to the Philippines.
Maybe I should take it slow. My body's saying yes, my head